National Family Health Survey, this was last completed in 2020, has shown a very worrying trend. Unfortunately, what has happened is that the obesity prevalence in India has increased significantly. When it was compared to the survey 4, this survey 5 has shown that almost 1 out of every 4 men and women in India are suffering from either overweight or obesity. This is as compared to 1 out of 5 just 5 years back. So of course this is a very significant shift that has happened just within the last 5 years that has a lot of health consequences for the whole country. To reverse this trend, there really needs to be a lot of education on preventive health. There has been a lot of, obesity is multifactorial. Why this is happening in India is there are several factors, significant change in the diet, change in our lifestyle, our mental health problems that have cropped up in our country. It is difficult to pinpoint one single factor. Really, it needs a lot of education on preventive health, on treating it at an early stage before we get to the obesity stage. Obesity in women comes with its own associated problems. It is seen that obesity is linked to polycystic ovarian disease in women. Almost 30% of polycystic ovarian disease is linked to obesity. So this comes in the form of infertility, a lot of other hormonal problems in women. The other aspect in women is that if you are overweight or obese and you have a pregnancy, you are much more likely to have a complicated pregnancy, a complicated labor, complicated delivery, increased chances of cesarean section, problems with diabetes and high blood pressure during pregnancy. So this is a whole different aspect in women that they're at increased risk due to the obesity. It really needs a change in perspective. We need to stop looking at obesity as just a cosmetic problem or only a lifestyle problem. We need to start addressing obesity as a whole, and everybody needs to change that perspective and start looking at obesity as a health problem. So that needs to be addressed early. Everybody needs to be conscious of their diet. It's extremely important. Almost 60% of obesity is linked to an incorrect diet. So the portion size, the quality of diet, everything we need to be very careful. If I give you just a simple tip, we have a very high proportion of roti and rice in our diet. We really most of us can do very well with cutting that in half and doubling our proportion of protein. So it's a very simple tip that cut your carbohydrates, cut the grains, sweets, namkeens, snacks, cut those down, make them less than half, double your portion of proteins, because most of us lack significantly in protein in our Indian, mostly vegetarian diet. So increase the portion of proteins, fresh fruits, fibers, cut down the portions of carbohydrates and processed foods. And at the same time, we need to improve our metabolism, we need to focus on exercise, we need to burn those calories. So please, half an hour to 40 minutes of some form of exercise most days of the week, and that will go a long way along with the right diet in preventing overweight or obesity related problems.